These products are often made from polyester, nylon, acrylic, or a combination of these. And these are plastic-based fibers. Synthetic hair is cheaper and it is more accessible than natural hair fibers, right? So this is another reason why it is so popular for braids, wigs, extensions, things like that. So the chemical treatments and the processes that are used to make these synthetic fibers flexible, shiny, and tangible free may involve harmful substances. Now, here are some common carcinogens that are found in synthetic hair products. Two of the biggest causes of cancer are formaldehyde and phthalates. Formaldehyde is often used in the production process as a preservative. This keeps the hair looking fresh and it also helps to prevent mold growth during the shipping phase. But formaldehyde is a known carcinogen. So an exposure to it, especially when it's heated, can be very dangerous. So when synthetic hair is exposed to heat, like when you curling your hair or you're heating your hair or you're dipping it in the hair, the ends of the hair to make it keep it stable, straightening it, it can release formaldehyde gas. And this can cause irritation to your eyes, your nose, your throat, and with prolonged exposure to this chemical, it can increase the risk of certain cancers like lung and throat cancers. Okay. Now, phthalates, on the other hand, they are used to make synthetic fibers more flexible and less likely to break. That's why when you are styling the hair fibers, you can pull it easily, and it's basically like plastic. These chemicals are often included in the production of cheaper synthetic brands. Phthalates are also linked to several health concerns, including hormonal disruption, reproductive issues, and even developmental problems. So over time, phthalates can accumulate in the fat tissue and it can be released into the bloodstream where it can affect the body's ability to balance hormones. So then you have lead found in the braiding hair, and that can lead to serious health risks as well, especially with prolonged exposure. So when the braiding hair products contain lead, it can be absorbed through the skin, it can be inhaled as dust, and it should be known that lead is a neurotoxin that affects the nervous system, and exposure to it can lead to different issues. The exposure of lead can lead to developmental issues in children. Exposure to lead can impair brain development, resulting in learning disabilities and reduced or low IQ scores. It can also lead to behavioral problems. It can cause kidney damage. Lead can accumulate in the kidneys over time, and this can cause potential damage to the kidneys, affecting kidney function. Lead can also cause reproductive harm. Exposure to lead over time can interfere with reproductive health, and this can affect both men and women. Increased blood pressure as well. Long-term exposure to lead can also raise blood pressure levels, increasing the risk of heart disease as well. Some other reasons why it's a health risk because of skin absorption. Well, let's look at the scalp. Your scalp is skin and it's porous, and that means that you can absorb chemicals directly into your body through that means. So when we're wearing synthetic hair, you may not even know that you're being exposed to possible carcinogens or even other harmful substances. And over time, this exposure can add up. You can also have inhalation risk when you're styling your hair or you're installing the synthetic hair fibers, such as like when you're styling the hair using hot tools like curling irons and straighteners or even blow dryers. Doing that can increase the chance of inhaling harmful fumes. Formaldehyde, for example, turns into a gas when it's heated. So you might not see or smell it right away, but the fumes are there and they can settle in the air, causing respiratory irritation. And with long-term exposure, here's the deal with prolonged exposure. The thing is that people wear synthetic hair for weeks and weeks and months at a time. And depending on how often you wear it, you can be exposed to these chemicals consistently. And with that added up exposure, that's just adding up over time. The risk increases as well. So this chemical builds up in your body, and that can potentially lead to even more severe health conditions over time. So, guys, I even set out on my own little search in my local neighborhood to see if I could find some plant based type of hair options in braiding hair. So, I went to one of the local hair beauty supply stores in my town to see what options they had. In this next clip, I'm just walking around looking at the different hair types and the different brands just to see if they had any plant-based options. I did find some options that were antibacterial and anti-itching. So I think that's a good option for me. So I decided to go with the brand that was antibacterial. Now that we understand the health risks, let's discuss some ways that you can reduce the exposure to some of these harmful chemicals. Here are some tips for you to use in your daily life when you're using these products. You can simply choose safer hair products. Look for brands that are transparent about their ingredients. Not all companies are open to exposing what ingredients they use in their hair making process. Some hair companies, manufacturers offer products that are formaldehyde free or phthalate free. So it's good to do some research to try to find these companies. These are much safer choices in the long run. You can check on the packaging or on the company's website for more information about the materials that they use in producing their products. You can also try natural or plant-based synthetic options. They are available out there as well. It might be harder to find them, but they're there. They are often the best choices when it comes to minimizing harmful chemicals as well. Try to wash the hair before you use it. And it's not about shampooing the hair before you install the braids, but washing the synthetic hair before you put it on your scalp. So here I'm just preparing some of the hair that I just purchased, soaking some of the chemicals off. So I just washed it in some water, added a little bit of white vinegar and a little bit of soap just to help pull up some of those chemical coatings off of the coatings of the hair. This can help reduce the chemicals from the manufacturing process, but it's not gonna completely get rid of the issue because we know that the fibers are actually produced using these chemicals. You can also try rinsing the hair. Rinsing the hair can significantly cut down on the amount of the residual chemicals left on the fibers that might be absorbed by your skin as well. You can also limit the use of using hot tools on the synthetic fibers. Avoid using high levels of heat on those synthetic fibers. And when you use hot tools like curling irons or straighteners, blow dryers, that can cause the synthetic hair to release the chemicals, stick to lower heat settings. You can try to style your braids without using heat. And if you do decide to use heat, you need to make sure that you're doing it in a well ventilated, airy space so that you're not inhaling those fumes. Open a window, use a fan, wear a mask, whatever to cut down on the exposure to those fumes. You can also try wearing gloves or any other protective barriers so that your skin is not absorbing chemicals from the hair. Consider wearing gloves or using some type of protective barrier between your hands and the hair. And as I've mentioned before, you can just consider using natural alternatives to the synthetic hair fibers if you're concerned about the chemicals in the synthetic hair, then you might want to explore other options, such as using human hair over the synthetic hair, or you can try to find a company that uses plant-based fibers such as bamboo or hemp, because they are out there. You just have to look for them. These fibers are not only free from harmful chemicals, but they are also more sustainable, and that means you're making a better choice for both your health and your environment. And there is a plant-based hair company that actually makes braiding hair using natural banana products. So you can look into that as an option. I'll link it in the description. We know that some people just want to use what they're used to, and they will continue to use the synthetic hair. So here are some things to look out for. If you are committed to continuing to use synthetic hair, but you want to stay safer, look out for brands that emphasize low toxicity and non-toxic materials. The hair that is made from the Carcinogen brand, the fibers is often considered a safer option. Carcinogen fibers are more likely to have fewer chemicals, but always check the labels if possible, or you can reach out to the manufacturer for more details. So here's how you can advocate for safer products that you use. Another important thing to remember is that to support brands that are transparent about their manufacturing processes, and support brands that are committed to making safer and more sustainable products. By advocating for safer alternatives and buying products from those brands that prioritize health, you are helping to help shift the industry towards better, safer options. To wrap this up, we know that synthetic hair products save us time and money, and they do come in a variety of styles, but health risk comes along with that. You need to be aware that the chemical process from them using phthalates and formaldehyde, those substances are harmful, and they are found in many synthetic hair products. You don't have to compromise your health just for the sake of looking good or for a nice hairstyle. So let's continue to make informed choices about our well-being and our health, myself included. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you found this video to be helpful, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And for more tips or health-related content like this, subscribe to my channel. Links are in the description box for more information concerning this topic. And I'll see you guys on the next one.